Finally, it's time for a game that lets you be the baddest DJ on 2 turntables. This week's game is Turntablist DJ Battle, a weird little music game developed and published by Bandai and released on November 25th, 1999. As I've covered on episode 17 about Beatmania, I'm quite the music gaming enthusiast, so I've been very curious about this game and looking forward to making this video for a while now. Unfortunately, this game is much more basic than I expected it to be, so it's a bit of a letdown. This game makes use of both X and Y sets of directional buttons, but it's still played in portrait. This is quite uncommon on the WonderSwan and very awkward given that nothing in this game benefits that much from being played in portrait, and it'd be so much more comfortable were it to be played in landscape instead. The top set of directional buttons is a turntable, and the bottom set of directional buttons is a sampler. Hitting any of these buttons will play some sort of sample, the turntable will play scratch samples, and the sampler will play drum loops. Not gonna lie, I'm stumped as to how you're meant to play the main battle mode of the game. I did some research and no one seems to agree about how it's meant to be played, and I wasn't able to figure it out either. A lot of people claim that this is meant to be played somewhat like a game of Simon, where you're meant to repeat the same actions as the other DJ as closely as possible to win. The problem with that is that the game is score-based, and failing to do anything as perfectly as the other DJ would have you lose immediately. Also, just from mashing buttons randomly, I found that the game does accept notes that the other DJ didn't play as being valid. Perhaps you're just meant to freestyle and find something that sounds good and the game accepts as a valid musical pattern, and execute on it well enough to outscore your opponent. That does seem a teeny bit impenetrable as a game mechanic though. Luckily, this game also features making mode, which allows you to use the game's 60+ drum loops and scratch samples to create your own music. This game was developed in collaboration with the DJ equipment maker Vestax and DJ Yuze, an iconic Japanese turntablist that was big in the 90s, so the beats and the scratch samples sound authentic and as good as they could given the cartridge size limitations they had to play within. Within the making mode, you can fool around in free play, record your creations with a recording mode, play back your recordings with a playback mode, and customize your palette of samples in the custom screen. This is the redeeming feature of the game. Sure, maybe it isn't that impressive in 2018 when anyone can just open up GarageBand and do this for free on their phone or tablet. But if you were an aspiring hip-hop artist in 1999 with $37, the amount of value you could get out of this game was pretty good, even if you ignore the game aspect completely. I'm all about features that enable creative expression in video games, and while Turntablism DJ Battle isn't interesting as a game, it definitely gets points for being a high production value hip-hop audio toy you can play with.